Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians and guests. Welcome to the weekly lunch meeting of the Rotary Club of Barrie. Things go better when you are here. We will begin the meeting in our traditional fashion with Rotary invocation, O Canada, and a toast to the Queen. Please remove your hats and stand if you are able to. For good food, for good friends, and for the opportunity to provide service above self through Rotary, we are thankful.
Oh, Canada, our home and native land, through hatred, love, in all of us command. With glowing hearts we see thee rise, a true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God keep our land, glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
Toast to Andre DeGrasse.
To the Queen. Please be seated. Our Beacon editor this week is Tanya. I think Tanya's online. I'm not 100% sure. Thank you, Tanya. And folks, if you have any announcements, please make sure to forward Tanya a copy for inclusion in our minutes. And I'd like to thank Arlette for a great Beacon last week. Appreciate that. And I also want to throw a thank you to Betty Ann, who has stepped in again. I think her favorite job in Rotary, maybe not, is doing attendance for us and being here managing that. So Betty Ann, thank you again for doing that. And for David Tish, who's getting the information out to these meetings and taking all the invites. And Dave, thank you also for doing that. Excellent work, Marta, organizing your committee and those that aren't even on your committee. I'll now call upon the membership to introduce any guests. Are there any Zoom guests that we have? And I've only got one screen, so if there is a guest, please yell it out. Doesn't look like it. We do have a few guests here. I'd like to ask our guests to stand and remain standing until they're recognized by the club, please. I'd like to introduce District Governor Steve Meadley, who will receive a more formal introduction later. President of the Rotary Club of Barrie, Huronia, Cindy O'Donnell. President of the Rotaract Club of Barrie, Nicole Graham. And if you can't figure out who her dad is, look at her last name. Also from the Huronia Club of Barrie, the Barrie Huronia Club, Joan Kellos, Sandra Ekman Norton, and Sue Carr. Please accept a warm greeting from myself and the club, and feel free to join with us again soon. Did I miss someone? Pardon me, Matt Weatherby, Carrie's wonderful husband, is here. Matty, you're gonna get fined for that, just letting you know.
We also got Bonnie and Adelaide.
Well, Mikey, you're supposed to step up and do that. So there's a fine there. So Bonnie and Adelaide are here. Welcome to see them. And for the Zoomers, I promised I won't drop the camera in the garden this time. So you guys are fixed on a screen. You're not getting moved around. You're on a stand. We won't drop you in the garden this time. Birthdays and anniversaries. And we've got some neat ones here. The only birthday greeting we have is John McNabb, whose birthday is August 10th. And we've got some great anniversaries here. Dave and Nancy McCullough are celebrating 41 years of marriage, August 9th. Darren and Kim Robinson are celebrating 25 years of marriage on August 10th. And Darren, I think you're here, just letting you know the traditional and modern 25th year anniversary gift is silver, therefore the 25th anniversary, silver anniversary. Silver symbolizes brilliance, radiance, and the value of a long-lasting marriage. This one's going to cost you some money. Peter and Fran Smith, celebrating 43 years of marriage on August 10th. And a great one here, Bud and Linda Gooderham, celebrating 54 years of marriage on August 11th. And Bud was so inspired and so motivated about his marriage that 16 years later to the day, in 1983, Bud joined Rotary when he should have been out celebrating and spending time with Linda. Congratulations and best wishes to you all. A donation to our club's polio plus eradication campaign will be made in your name. Jeff, are we singing a song? Maybe we are, maybe we aren't. Well, let's just sing happy birthday anyways for everybody. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, fellow Rotarians. Happy birthday to you. We sing so beautifully. Well done, club. I'm really inspired by that. We have a few announcements here, a little bit of a lengthy one on the very timely subject of vaccinations. So this is a bit of a message that District Governor Steve passed on, and I've added a little bit to it. Rotary International has left the decision on vaccination requirements up to districts and clubs. First and foremost, we ask clubs to adhere to the recommendations and requirements of their local public health units. With a number of different units throughout our district, it is not possible to have one set of policies for all clubs. As we all know, Step 3 in Ontario allows outdoor gatherings of up to 100 people with no vaccination requirement, as long as attendees keep 2 meters apart. Obviously, indoors, we still require to wear masks. While these are the current provincial requirements, it is important to understand what is acceptable and in the best interest of our membership. As I indicated in a message that I sent out last week, following line 2 of the 4-way test, is it fair to all concerned, should be the simple guideline we all follow. Regardless of whether if you are vaccinated or not, please respect the safety and well-being of your fellow Rotarians. An update on our meeting facility. So for the Zoomers, again, we have an amazing audience here, and this is really exciting. The energy, the fun, the smiles, we have people in the shade, people in the sun, Johnny here doing the barbecue. We will have a tent. I've talked about, we will have a tent here in the next week or two, so that regardless of rain, poor weather, we will still be able to meet. We'll have some more of our tables and chairs. Not to take away from the positiveness of this here, but I am encouraging more participation from the club. We have about 40 here, which is incredible. We've got a good number on Zoom. Take the time, reach out to a fellow Rotarian, reach out to a friend, and just encourage them to come here. Share with them the excitement of this, the fun of this, whether you bring a little cooler and have a beer like one of our newer members, or you sit in the shade and have a glass of wine. We need you to be here. This is tough, as we've said. Zoom fatigue is setting in, emails, we're sick of that. I've said this a few times. Let's do what we can to be here. This is our home. And to borrow a phrase from our wonderful Sergeant at Ohms, this will continue to be our home until it isn't. So we will obviously continue to have Zoom be a part of our meetings, but I am encouraging you. We need to get back to our old habits. This goes in your calendar. Thursdays, you're busy. Thursdays, you're here. And respectfully, I'm just asking, let's just keep doing this. Let's keep the momentum going and keep getting together. Another, I don't know, maybe I'm giving you a little bit of a kick in the butt. I'm sorry if I am. Committee attendance, guys. Club is very important. This is where we do our production. This is our fun. This is our excitement. This is our social time. Our work is done at committee attendance. So again, it's tough to adjust, whether it's Zoom, whether it's live. We need to be at our committee meetings, making sure we're contributing. When I read the minutes, there's amazing information, feedback, suggestions, and whatnot that come from the committees, and it's only going to be better when everybody's there. So please make an effort to attend to your committee meetings. Your chairs are working hard and doing their job, and it makes the club better. So anyways, enough of me doing that stuff. Thanks for your patience listening. A reminder of district conference, and we're going to probably hear some more about that soon, but a district conference in Timmins on September 9th to the 12th. A wonderful opportunity for fellowship, for learning about Rotary, to see a beautiful part of our province that maybe we haven't seen. We'll find out if there's still rooms available, Steve. Yeah, so there's still rooms. There is a discount of $50 for new registrations or new registrants, and maybe we can hit Steve to see if we can get a bigger discount. No pressure. But again, if you have a chance and you're interested in some fun, there is a bus that will, it's leaving from the area. Right now, it's only scheduled as far south as Aurelia because they haven't had any feedback from us or from Collingwood area. If you're interested in attending and utilizing the bus service, let us know and we can get you in touch with that, and a bus will help make that a little safer trip. Any other messages from the floor? Announcements? No? Okay. At this time, I would like to ask the president of the Rotary Club of Barrie Huronia, Cindy O'Donnell, to please come to the podium and share a little bit with us about the Huronia Club and how things are going. Cindy?
Well, we had an announcement, Jody, but
Oh, okay.
we can wait.
I'll come back here.
Right. Well, thank you, President Jody, for inviting me to the second best Rotary Club in Barrie. He made me say that.
Is it the truth? Doesn't apply to Sergeant at Arms stuff. So I'm not sure how that's going to work out. Larry will talk to you, Cindy.
Larry will talk.
President
to me.
Cindy.
Anyhow, no, we're very happy to be here. I brought a couple of my members with me to come and see how the Barrie Club is doing their noon meetings. We're looking to possibly do our noon meetings here as well. Thank you to Jody. And so everything seems to be going okay right now. We have about maybe 50% of our members that are showing up on our noon meeting to the through Zoom. We do have our committee meetings that are being held in a hybrid type of meeting where some of them are meeting in person and then the other half are meeting through Zoom, just like we're doing here. And then with our committee meetings, what we've decided as a board is if they're going to be meeting in person, that what we would have them do is that the host, so if it's going to be at a member's home, the host would decide on the protocol as far as what their comfort level is of having people in their home. So for example, I held the board meeting last week and I had said to my directors that they are welcome to come to my home, but because I can't control the weather, I would ask that everybody be double vaccinated who comes to my home, just for my comfort level. And then those who are not would come through Zoom. And we had a great meeting. My husband was wonderful and made all the food because you wouldn't want me to making the food. And then the response I got from my directors was that I was able to engage them through Zoom and make sure that the people that are there in person were also engaged. And they were so happy to be together. That was the first time that we had been together since the pandemic. Our Monday evening meetings, so we're not called a satellite meeting any longer. It's called a Monday evening meeting. And so our Monday evening meetings, they have also met in person. They did a walk along the waterfront, and they do have different ideas of how they're going to be running their meetings as well. So we have two meetings. We have the Monday evening meeting, and then we have the Tuesday noon meeting. And that's what we're kind of doing right now.
Awesome. I'll get you to stay up here for a second, President
Okay.
Cindy. And one of the things that we wanted to do was obviously have Cindy come and talk about their clubs having the same challenges we've had with all of this and the struggles and the battles with everything. But also there's always been a bit of there's certainly a bit of a humor between the clubs, and we don't really need to defend. We know who the best club in Barrie is. But to really, this is about Rotary, right? Not Barrie, not Huronia, not Kempenfeld. And Tanya Pierce, who's the president of the Kempenfeld Club, was unable to come today, but really to just support Rotary as much as we can. And I think it was, I can't take credit for this. This is Bernie's offering to allow the other clubs to meet here. And that's for Rotary. So if Huronia can meet here, that just makes Rotary in Barrie better, which is our goal. So Cindy, President Cindy, I'm just wondering, some of your projects and different things that you've done. I know we've pivoted and evolved. Our fun run was virtual. How have you guys worked with any of your projects? Have you been able to make any radical changes to allow them to try to carry on?
Yeah, so last year with Lobster Fest, we did it was Lobster to Go. And so we hooked up with Liberty North and we ran the Lobster Fest that way. Lobster Fest though for June of June of next year, we are planning that we are hoping that we will be able to do that in person. Our women's show, we did that last year. We did that through Zoom, and this year we're going to be doing a hybrid model of that as well. And then we had some euchre games that we played through Trickster cards, and so we did some fundraising that way. We also had other events where we would have, similar to the Lobster to Go, where you would go and pick up a meal. And we did that with Liberty North, and we also did that with Michael and Marion's as well. And we had, when we did the Michael and Marion's meal, that was also a Yuck Yucks event. So we've been very creative as far as trying to figure out how we would continue on with our fundraising, and we will probably continue to do some of those still this year until we can actually start being in person again. And so that's what we're doing.
Wonderful. Any questions for President Cindy at all? Anybody? No? Okay, well, President Cindy, thank you and your team for being here today.
Thanks.
I'm sure when we get to our Sergeant at Arms routine, we may chat again.
Right,
Just
okay,
saying.
all right.
But thank you very much,
Is this
President.
my water? or
Yes,
yours?
that is yours.
Okay.
Thank you. I think I missed one message. Aaron, do you want to come up? You had a quick
Sure.
announcement?
Thank you. All right, President Jody, thank you very much. Fellow Rotarians, honored guests, Zoomers, wherever you are over here. Being a new Rotarian and actively participating in my first committee, I had asked SAA Larry for the definition and role of the SAA committee, to which I failed to get a reply. So my initial understanding of the SAA committee role was that they were to find out dirt on and unannounced good news events on our membership, such that fines could be levied. However, I realized that this is just the tip of the iceberg, and that the SAA committee is responsible for the fun of the club by organizing events which bring us together for opportunities to build camaraderie, evolve member friendships, engage members with in-person fellowship, and the opportunity to learn more about each other. I can assure you, President Jody, that the SAA committee is committed to achieving this goal, and we're exploring a number of creative and exciting events for this year or for this term. With that said, I'm pleased to announce the first event will be a golf tournament to be held Thursday, September 30th at Innisbrook Golf Course. This date corresponds to the newest federal holiday, that being the National Day for Truth and Reconciliation, which we are all too familiar with now. But saying that, there's no excuses for any of the bankers or civil servants in the group because it is a federal holiday for them. Due to COVID restrictions still in place at this time, we'll need to have scheduled tea times rather than having a shotgun, but that could change between now and then. Regardless, first tea time will be set for 2:15. Not sure if there's a restriction at this point of the number of foursomes that we can enter. However, Chris Garapy will be leading the event and will provide further details shortly. So I encourage you to get your foursomes together and let the bantering begin. Thank you.
Thank you, Aaron. And that's a great, past President Chris asked me if we should do a second golf day. I said, absolutely. They're fun. So thank you for coordinating that. And September 30th is something, it's a new holiday that was pretty quietly introduced. Right now, that's a Thursday, and that's when we're scheduled to meet. So I'm ahead of my board at this time. I will have an announcement next week at our meeting on that, but actually, that's all I'm going to say to that. So right now, September 30th is a golf day.
No meeting that day?
I'll get back to you next week, Mr. Board Member. Sorry, Jay. All right, so we are going to try to do one of our random number auctions here. And I'm not sure how we're going to work this time, Zoom. Larry's going to work the room. I'm going to try to work this thing here. I don't know how this is going to roll. Actually, Bernie, would you come forward for a minute, just share the idea you had and what we're talking about here? So while Bernie's coming up, we're going to do the auction today. This is our First Lady fundraiser. We have the main prize is this guy, which is 2 dozen fresh eggs, beans, tomatoes, homemade strawberry jam, Paula J's barbecue sauce, and a 6-pound frozen fresh chicken, which is at my office because I didn't think here would be a good spot to bring it. So if you win the chicken, you got to go on the road to pick it up. We've got 2 incredible baskets that have been produced right out of our Rotary garden: beans, tomatoes, garlic, onion, cucumbers. and we have more eggs down below to give out. So we're giving away a lot of stuff today. We're going to hang on to some of this money and come up with some different resources to hand it out. I talked to Chris Van Niekerk. The garden right now is pretty flush with money. There's money in our reserves for its upkeep. So whether it's supporting the food bank, whether it's supporting some of the different initiatives. So we're going to gather some money, but Bernie has a really neat idea that I'm going to let him talk about here.
It's
I'm
fun.
not sure
Haircut for
President
Bernie.
Bernie what that idea is. Oh, that one. Okay, sorry, yeah. So we have some potato plants and tomato plants that we thought would like to have an owner, if you will, or they're up for adoption. Let's put it that way. So next week, I believe. Next week, we're come prepared, but you will have the opportunity to adopt one of these potato or tomato plants, and they're yours to embrace, if you will, talk to, whatever you wish. As long as it's fun. Okay, thanks for that.
Thanks for that, Bernie. And again, thank you for allowing us to be here. That is phenomenal. So we'll figure out exactly how that's going to roll. It'll be a fun little fundraiser, just something to have some silliness with. And on the topic of silliness, Sergeant Arms Larry, let's give this a run. So for Zoomers, I'm going to come over there and try and pay attention to the screen. If you want numbers, and there's a slight chance you'll get the one you want, start messaging me the number you want. Larry and I will try to argue it out on the floor. I have no idea how this is going to work, kind of like everything that we've done so far. So $5 a number we'll go with. You're going to work the floor. I'll let you know when I have a number, if I get any. So let's give this a go. So Zoomers, we're not that smart to pay. Okay, I've got 15. This is a rookie, Sergeant Arms here. He's very, very slow at this. I've got 15 when you get there. Okay, 10's gone. I've got 15. I've got 18. God, he's slow. I've got 18. I've got 25. You got to pay attention to me. Okay, 33. You guys better pay attention because I don't know who's getting what. I got 31. 31. Well, I like whoever went 88. We're getting up there. I've got, where are you at? You can have it. I've got 45 coming up. 37. Trevor, that one's going to cost you $20 if I get there. This is really exciting for you guys, isn't it? 39 and 40. I got 45. 41. So I don't mean to yell in your guys' ears. Sorry. 43, 44. I got 45. 46, 47. Any others? Anybody else? You didn't hit this round. Oh, I'm sorry, guys. 48, 49, 50. We're working on a better plan here so we can make this Zoom screen a little more portable. I can give you a quick turnaround of what's here. No, I'm not going to do that. I'll do that after when the speaker's up. Any other numbers here? I got 48. Is that gone? All right, 48's gone. What are we at? Hey, you know what we didn't figure out? Where are you at? GG is 57. 57. Anybody else? Anybody else? Okay, Mallory, what are you at? 57. Mallory gets 57. And Mal, I need you to pull up. Okay, Mallory gets 58. And Mal, you need to pull up a random number generator for me. From 0 to 59. Anybody want 60? This is working really well. Let's buy 60. Okay, we're shutting this down at 60. Okay, so Mal, pull up a random number generator. I got Mal doing one. 0 to 60, Mal. Can you unmute yourself, Mallory? All Okay, so 0 to 60, and we're giving away 1, 2, 3, probably 6 prizes. The grand prize winner was what?
21, President Jody.
Who has number 21?
21.
Yeah, Scotty. All right. So Scotty, you get this and the chicken, and that's it. All right, we need another number. Arf.
General.
35.
35. I think that was Millsy. Millsy, you get one of these ones, Millsy. You get the middle one, Scotty. Another number.
12.
12. That's a Larry number. There, we got it at the back. There's Larry, and we've got, what do we got left for eggs here? All right. So now the winners are getting, keep those ones out. We got, yeah, sure. Okay, need another number.
1.
That again?
1.
Number 1. That's got to be over here. GN, Jerry Norman won that. 2 dozen eggs. Another number.
43.
43. Chuck wins that. You won a lot. You can't win again. Give those back. We need another number.
16.
Eggs. Give him his eggs. One more number.
16.
16. That's over here somewhere too. Who had 16? All right. There's 16. There's our winner. All right. Thanks for playing along, Zoom audience. Not sure how terrible that was or not. Thank you. Thanks, everybody. So we'll count that up and see where we're at. Thanks for letting us have a bit of silly fun. So you're still on stage, my friend. You got some stuff to talk about, Sergeant Arms Larry?
I'm out of breath.
I
had to run over here, sing national anthem. Merhaba Devlet Bashkani, Jody. And my munificent fellow Rotarians and guests. That was brought to you by the country of Turkey. Thank you very much. We're joined today by the very august personage of District Governor Steve Meadley. Steve, how are you?
I'm great.
Good. Good. Steve, you're from
Graceful.
Yeah, I knew a guy from Aurelia named Jeff Meadley, who's a teacher now in Alliston. He was built like the Incredible Hulk. And I was kind of thinking you might be related to him, but I'm thinking no. But I'm glad you're here today because you know what today is? Yeah. Oh, is that right?
You're on your own with this one.
I'm out. But you know what today is?
What's
This
today?
is Governor Steve.
What's today?
And this is a really great coincidence. Today is National Underwear Day, and I've got it on good information that you're wearing underwear today.
That's a very good assumption.
So that's good. What?
Do you need to see it?
No, we're good.
Yeah, see it. That'll be classic. Is it the truth?
Millsy, how'd we do this week on the diamond?
1 and 1.
1 and 1. Did you have any tall old timer lefties in the pen?
No, but I'm looking for one.
I swear to God, if you've got a ball and a catcher's mitt, I'll try out right now. Right now.
I'm looking for it.
All right. Now this came up. There's going to be no fine for that because we got you last week. This came up a couple weeks ago, but John has a couple of wonderful announcements and milestones that we'd like to talk about. Are you going to sit there? Or are you going to stand up? I mean, it's up to you. I don't care either way.
2 weeks ago, that work. 5 days later, which was the 28th, is the day I actually celebrate my birthday because that's a misunderstanding that happened. You're going to be sorry you asked for this.
I already am.
Anyways, there was my girlfriend and I went to the keg for dinner. Another couple joined us, and I said, "Why don't you come over to my place and we'll have some cocktails after?" And they said, "Sure, great." Unbeknownst to me, my girlfriend had invited a whole bunch of my friends and acquaintances, and there was a big party out on my deck. So I was totally floored. I was still to this day delighted about it, and it was the best birthday party I ever had. Now, 2 weeks ago, I did not have the $80 to give you. So
This is a
here the
voluntary.
$80 fine.
Yeah, that's fantastic. Is that sufficient? Because I don't think he addressed the chair, President Jody.
I think he did.
You
I think he
did?
was perfect. He was perfect.
All right.
Thank you, Jody.
Just put this in the
President
back
Jody.
pocket. Thank you very much. Congratulations. And John, if I'm still above ground and looking as good at you as 80, it'll be a big win. So congratulations.
For who?
For Sharon.
Okay.
All right. I've got to appeal this presentation to District Governor Steve. Firstly, President Jody, I'd like to introduce you to a guest that didn't get introduced at the beginning of the meeting. I don't know if you've met Paula J. Reed, have you?
No,
So I think Steve, can you levy a fine against the president?
I think that's a $10 fine.
Oh,
Woo! Yes.
I got nowhere to go.
Danny
Hi,
Allen.
Paula.
He shoots, he scores, he lows, he pulls.
It took me a year of trying to find the president and I got nowhere.
It took me 4
Meeting
weeks.
4. Well done. Well done.
Our distinguished guest Joan from the Huronia Club.
Yeah. Look at her face. She's like,
Joan, you're a guest, so we'll cut you a little bit of slack here. Address the chair.
Mr.
President Jody.
President Jody, but you said my name wrong, so I think.
oh.
Respond with what I was given. I didn't, it wasn't enunciated for me.
Joan, where'd you park?
How should it have been said?
Kelso, not Kelos.
Well, I can't help my bad typing either.
I parked behind the person I followed in.
Which is where?
Over there.
Over there. Okay, you didn't see the pylon there or the Rotarian
There was,
pointing
there
to
was
the?
no one standing there when I came
There's a
in.
pylon though. You just drove right around the pylon, right?
That's how
Okay,
I
but
learned
that's
to
okay.
drive.
You're a
Larry,
guest.
Perhaps we should let Joan off the hook here.
I know because I knew who she was
I
following.
do too. Let's have a chat with him. Before you get there though, he's up here.
Oh.
I see a lot of people with their badges on and a lot of people without their badge. So how about a couple of bucks in the pot if you don't have your badge? They're all sitting over there on the picnic table where you were all told that they would be. So if you don't have your badge on, let's throw a toonie in the pot.
Okay,
But,
Chuck.
Chuck, you're looking as summary as heck.
incoming president, Chuck. Oh, I may want to think about this one.
Look at, he doesn't even have his shoes on.
No shoes, no shirt, no service.
Got it.
Okay, so Chuck, where'd you park?
Right there.
Yeah, where'd everybody else park?
I know. Over
Okay,
there.
okay. So
So-
you're not important until, you're not any more important than anybody else until July 1st next
I
year.
was just checking the policing of this place, and just making sure that it was, and it's not up, it was not up to snuff.
Okay, and
And-
did you plan on addressing the chair at all today?
I'm sorry,
Did you plan on addressing the chair at all
I
today?
did. I told him about the name tag thing.
Oh, okay.
President Jody.
Yeah.
This is the name.
You're
tag.
not supposed to rat yourself out there, incoming Chuck, but I will say, Larry, I did ask President Cindy, I said, please feel free to park here. Chuck obviously intercepted that email and said, to heck with President Cindy.
Yeah.
I'm incoming. I'm more important. I'm parking my Mercedes.
Put your hand
here."
up if you parked over in the correct parking lot. All right, no,
Isn't
just,
the number 40 at
just
the end
no.
of the road?
just no.
Isn't the end, isn't the number
No.
40 at-
What do you think, President Jody? What's the fine? $100.
It's a Mercedes he parked.
It's a Mercedes. I don't know, Chuck, what do you think? I think 5 is a minimum
Oh, it's a
there,
speaker.
Charlie. You good with 5?
About 5.
5.
I'll give my eggs away.
I don't care what you do with your eggs, as long as you don't throw them at me. We'll go 5. You're good for 5?
Sure.
Okay, he's in for 5.
Daryl Smith and Paul Markle, can you please stand up for me? Wherever you may be. I am standing. There you go. What time does the regular Thursday meeting of the Rotary Club of Barrie start? Right, what time do you guys
Whoa.
get here? Okay, is 12:17 before or after 12:15? Good man. All right, so I think President Jody, a couple bucks for not addressing the chair and a couple bucks for coming late.
I'm going to pull some personal sway here because Paul has made a wonderful donation to the stage at KISS, where we're now going to have a piano for our live concert next week. So for the inconvenience Paul's causing me with that, I'm going to let him off the hook with a $5 fine. And you know what, Daryl, what did we give Daryl for? I wasn't listening to you.
He
Same
was
thing.
late as well. He got here at about, I think, 10 minutes ago, something like that. It's your lie. You tell it how you want, man.
How about a couple bucks, Daryl, as well? All right. I know you wanted more than that. Our coffers are pretty full from this.
Okay,
Anything else?
And well, the one last thing is we've got one letter to Lars. It just came into my email. It said, "Dear SAA Lars, please stop bothering District Governor Steve. Kindest regards, RI President Shekhar Mehta." So, sorry about that, Steve, but thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen.
Thanks, Aaron.
Oh my gosh. Aaron's trying to kill the president.
That was close. Thank you very much, Sergeant at Arms Larry. That was creative and exciting and something else. And well done on the fine. Well done on fining me $10. So with that, I would like to invite past District Governor Jim Williams to come forward to introduce District Governor Steve Meadley, please.
Go the other side.
Good afternoon, fellow Rotarians and guests. Sitting out there and watching this production up at the head table made me think, you know, COVID's gone on too long when this club is starting to adopt tomato plants. So it is my pleasure today to introduce our district governor who is making his official visit to our club today. Steve Meadley was born and raised in Toronto. He attended the University of Toronto and graduated with a Bachelor of Commerce degree. He then obtained his CPA designation and worked for a number of companies such as GE Capital and Bell Canada in senior financial positions. In 1998, he made a wise career choice and lifestyle change by moving to Muskoka, where he purchased an office products business. Looking to go ahead and find more business and personal contacts, he joined the Rotary Club of Bracebridge and has been an active member for over 23 years. Steve has been a very active member in the club, been chair of most of the club's committees, including the annual Canada Day celebration and the Strategic Planning Committee. He was president of that club in the year 2012-2013. Governor Steve has also been very active at the district level for a number of years. He's been the chair of the Finance Committee and an assistant governor for 3 years. Steve has attended many district and international conferences and conventions, and he's also participated in a friendship exchange to New Zealand and also an international service project to Cambodia in 2019. Steve is currently retired, which is a real asset if you're going to be district governor, and lives in Huntsville with his wife, Sharon Wallace, and she is a member of the Rotary Club of Huntsville. They have 2 daughters, Heather, who is a member of the Rotaract Club of Muskoka, and Kyla, whose partner John is a member of the Rotaract Club of Barrie. So that is for sure a Rotary family. In addition to Rotary activities, Steve and Sharon enjoy golfing, cycling, and hiking. Ladies and gentlemen, will you please join me in welcome District Governor Steve Meadley.
Well, thank you, past District Governor Jim. That's very kind words of you. They're not normally so kind when you give introductions or thank yous, but thank you very much. And you know, you can always count as a district governor. You can always count on past district governors for advice, and whether you want it or not, you know you're going to get it. So, but I haven't had a call from Jim yet. But I've only been a month into my term. I'm honored and privileged and pleased to be here today to present to your club. It's great to see some guests. It's great to see Nicole Graham, who last night I had the pleasure of speaking to the Rotaract Club of Barrie. And Nicole and I joked afterwards that after coming here today and listening to my presentation again, I'm training her to go on the road to take my place in case I have trouble visiting all the clubs. So please make sure you pay attention, Nicole. And it's great to see the representatives from, well, I don't know if they're the second best, third best, first best other club of Barrie, but great to see our friends from the Rotary Club of Barrie, Huronia. And when I asked Sue Croft if she was here today to listen to my speech, she was very quick to say no, which I thought was quite appropriate. Anyhow, I hope over the next few minutes that I'm able to share with you what our district does and what some Rotary Internationals and my priorities are for the district for 2021-22. So firstly, I say, like, what is District 7010? And we hear of this District 7010, and 7010 is really just a number that Rotary International assigns to our district. But really what it is, it's a geographical area, which is better to name it. And it encompasses central Ontario, and central and northern Ontario, and part of Quebec. We run from Barrie in the south over to Collingwood in the west, Peterborough in the east, and all the way up to Hearst in northern Ontario. And for those of you that are old enough to still have one of those fold up maps in your glove compartment, you'll notice if you were to look at the map of our district, you've actually got to look at two sides of the map. That's how big it is. We have a total of 40 Rotary clubs, 8 Rotaract clubs, and about 6 Interact clubs, which makes up about 1,400 Rotarians, approximately 150 Rotaractors, and we're not quite sure how many Interactors we have. So what does the district do? Well, our district really only exists for one reason, and that is to support our clubs, to give them the tools and resources to help make them grow, take action, and make change. So some examples of that would be the Youth Exchange Program. The Youth Exchange Program is organized by the district on behalf of all of the clubs and helps arrange for the outgoing and incoming students each year. Things like the Rotary Youth Leadership Awards are organized by the New Generations Committee. We do training, we do President-elect's training, and yes, I am proud to say that Jody attended President-elect's training, and he did pass. And so we do the Rotary Weekend with the Rotary Leadership Institute, and we also offer clubs strategic planning. We have membership programs. Our membership committee develops tools to help clubs attract new members, retain existing members, and it organizes things like fellowships, which the motorcycle fellowship was just recently launched a month or so ago as our first district fellowship. The district manages grants, whether they be district grants or global grants, in terms of helping people do their grant applications and get access to funds that are available to us from the Rotary Foundation. We arrange for club insurance, and we also organize the annual district conference. So we have directors who head up each of those functional areas like youth exchange, membership, foundation, etc. And each of those have a committee of volunteers. And all of the people at the district level are from clubs throughout our district, and they are all volunteers, and we get paid about as much as President Jody is. So, we also have assistant governors. So we have a total of 8, each have a geographical area who help support clubs in their respective geographic areas. And the assistant governors really are the link between the club and the district. And their job is to help your club get access to resources that are available through the various district committees to help you and your members. Your assistant governor this year is Barb Bagley. Barb is a member of the Rotary Club of Innisfil. So please don't try to reinvent the Rotary wheel and take advantage of your district governors. They're here to help you. I'd also like to acknowledge that your club really has a strong involvement at the district level. We have Wayne Dennis, who is the chair of the Finance Committee. David Porter is the district secretary, and Allison Dirtnell is the director of service projects. So, and we have a fourth, past President Debbie, who I'm actively recruiting and currently got her involved in a couple of projects at the district level. I'm going to now change a little bit and talk about Rotary International and what their priorities are for 21-22. You can see below from the banner that every year Rotary International has a different theme, and the theme for this year for 21-22 is Serve to Change Lives. And really it highlights one of the primary reasons why we joined Rotary or Rotaract, and that is to make a difference through service. And Rotary International, Shekhar Mehta, who obviously has Larry's email. Shekhar is from India, And he says that serving lives is the best way to live because it changes not only our other people's lives, but also our own. So he's indicated he's got about 3 or 4 priorities for this year for Rotary International. The first one is polio eradication, which is their number one 21-22 goal, to continue the battle against polio eradication. And Rotary this year has made a US $50 million commitment, which together with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, they provide a 2-to-1 match, raises the total to 150 million US dollars. And Rotary and the Gates Foundation are very close to our goal of a polio-free world, where only been 2 cases of 2 new cases in 2021, one in Pakistan and one in Afghanistan. But there's still more work to do in terms of continuing vaccinations, monitoring, and surveillance. And it is necessary to go 3 years without any new cases before you can be declared polio-free. And I'm great to see that your club does makes their contributions for fines and things like that to Polio Plus, and that's terrific. Shaker's second priority is membership. And Shaker Mehta has challenged us to grow our membership in Rotary from 1.2 million to 1.3 million in 2021-22. And Rotary has really been stuck at 1.2 million members for the past 20 years. Each year we gain some and we lose some, but we seem to always end up at 1.2 million. And so it's a pretty big task to suddenly, when we've been 20 years at 1.2, to go from 1.2 to 1.3. One of the other things about our membership that's interesting is that even though we're stuck at 1.2 million, our Rotary membership in North America has been on the decline, and our average age is growing. So what is happening is we are growing in areas like Africa, the Far East, Japan, Korea, and India. In North America, the UK, Australia, our membership is on the decline, and that's something that we need to do to change. So President Shaker has asked us to commit to each one bring one. So what that means is that if each Rotarian is committed to bringing one new member, then we would easily reach his goal of getting us to 1.3. So when you think of it, if you think it's a huge task to go from 1.2 to 1.3, but if you also say, if we each all tried to bring one new member in, then it doesn't seem like such a big deal. But Rotary, in order to stem the tide here in North America, does need to change. And up until now, we've really been trying to sell the club experience, but unfortunately, people in North America aren't buying it. And I guess the question is why? You know, are we offering the value proposition that new members want? You know, we need to do things different than we have in the past. We need to think outside of the box, and we need to understand who we want to attract and what do those people that we want to attract want. No longer does the one model, lunch at Thursday noon, fit all. The people of new members today are looking for something else. So clubs need to look at a new approach to attract new members. And what we're promoting at the district level and trying to help clubs understand is we believe that the future growth of Rotary is in new innovative club models. So what does that mean? Well, it's things such as alternative meeting groups. Cindy talked about her club having an alternative meeting group or a satellite group. So you've got your group that meets separately from the main club. New cause-based clubs such as eco clubs, or these are clubs that have a specific area of interest and a specific focus, like the environment, where all of their fundraising, all of their community service activities, their interests, their speakers are all about the environment, for example. Excuse me. We have another one, cause-based club specifically for real estate professionals. This is a group that meets online every week, but their common interest, of course, is that they are in the real estate business, and they talk things about real estate. We have passport clubs and new online clubs. So different club models really are the future. And these formats, they don't detract from our traditional model, but they add to it. And the key is to offer different club formats that are really attractive to tomorrow's members. We also need to help focus helping Rotaract clubs grow. And I'm going to urge all of our clubs to involve the local Rotaract clubs in everything that they do, whether it's a fundraising program, whether it's a social, whether it's a community service project. You know, try to keep engaged with the Rotaract clubs. I guarantee the more you do with Rotaract, the more you'll learn, because they are a very exciting group. I love what you guys have done in terms of your keeping your Facebook pages up to date with interesting and relevant information, and highlighting some of the different community projects that you're doing, such as this Great Communities Gardens. And we know that having a strong social media presence is one of the keys to success in growing clubs, and you guys are doing a great job. Shaker's third priority is diversity, equity, and inclusion, and you'll be hearing a lot more about this focus in coming months. And we at Rotary are very fortunate that one of our very own, Valerie Wafer, who is a member of the Rotary Club of South Georgian Bay and a Rotary International Director. So she's one of the top 17, 18 Rotarians worldwide, has been named the chair of Rotary's International's Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion Committee. So this is a top priority for Rotary, who's not only looking at growing, but also diversifying our membership to make sure that our clubs reflect the communities we serve. Rotary will do this by creating an organization that is more open and inclusive, fair to all, builds goodwill, and benefits our communities. What we're looking for is we're looking for people with different perspectives and ideas. And Valerie and her committee are actively and deliberately working towards making Rotary's membership and activities more diverse, equitable, and inclusive. This also includes making membership more appealing to underrepresented groups, ensuring that all voices are heard, and working to eliminate barriers to access. So those are the three top priorities for Shaker. And I'll just give you a couple of my priorities for the district for my year as district governor. As we all know, Rotary has 7 areas of focus, one of which is providing clean water. And we've identified a program through a non-government organization called Water First. And Water First is the only Canadian organization focused on addressing Indigenous communities' water challenges through education, training, and collaboration. So what Water First does is they work with tribal councils, and they fund a career training program for young adults in water management. It's an internship program. It's a 15-month training program for young Indigenous men and women who at the end of the program are provincially certified as water quality analysts, enabling them to be qualified to work in the water treatment facilities in their own communities. The problem that they're trying to solve is that a lot of Indigenous communities have water treatment plants, and they are either aging ones or they're brand new ones, but they don't have any funding to train operators to run those facilities. And that's the problem that Water First is attempting to resolve. So our plan is to try to raise $125,000 to help support this program by obtaining support from Rotary and Rotaract clubs throughout our district, other Rotary districts, both in Canada and internationally. We'll also be applying for Rotary Foundation global grant. And you might say, well, that seems odd that we're applying for a global grant to help Indigenous communities here in Ontario. And it is, because normally when you think of a global grant, you think of a project that's in Africa providing mosquito nets, or toilets in Indonesia or schools in Cambodia. Well, this is the reverse. You can obtain a global grant. All you need to do is find an international partner who will agree to be the international partner on the project. And we have done that. We have found a club in Monterrey, Mexico, who are very interested in helping out with the Water First project and have agreed to be part of our global grant application. So we have a committee of Rotarians and Rotaractors from throughout our district. There's 10 in total. And we are going around and doing presentations at clubs. And one of the members of that committee is Kyle Campbell. I don't think Kyle's here today, from your club, and he will come and speak to your club, I think, in the beginning of September to tell you more about this program. Our second initiative that is new this year is what we call our Great Ideas Committee. And the purpose of the committee is to provide a resource for clubs to easily access shared information and ideas. There's lots of, I've seen throughout the district, lots of great ideas, great initiatives from various clubs, but we don't seem to have a good mechanism of sharing those with one another. And in fact, clubs tend to start to do things, reinvent the wheel and do things on their own. The fact that we've got Barry Horney here checking out your video hybrid combination is a great idea in terms of a great example of idea sharing. And I think there's a lot more of those to do. We're going to start by trying to collect fundraising ideas that clubs are doing and put those in a spot at our district site where clubs can have access to how another club has done a fundraiser, sort of a summary of what they were able to raise and who the contact person is. A good example of that would be Kempenfeld, who just this past weekend had their draw for their major car draw. They sold out 10,000 tickets, and the net, Tanya said, was $120,000. So absolutely fantastic results in their car draw. And if I was going to do a car draw, I'd certainly want to talk to them to find out more about how they made that happen. So, and again, another example, clubs are really struggling to how they manage to resume in-person meetings and provide a hybrid option for those that can't attend in person. And that's one of the projects that past President Debbie is going to help us with. And because I think your club is a leader in terms of, being able to get through this whole COVID and run hybrid meetings and make them work in a location such as this. And so she's helping to put together some do's and don'ts and tips and tricks that we can share with other clubs. So by working with each other and sharing ideas, we can be more successful and stronger. But to be successful, though, we do need your help. We need a volunteer from each club who can be the contact person who we can be in touch with, that can submit your sort of best ideas and that we can use to assemble this database. So we'll be reaching out, or the committee has started to reach out to clubs to try to find that contact person. Earlier, President Jody talked about the district conference, and I'm really looking forward to hosting the 2021 district conference in Timmins from September 9th to 12th. It's been quite a few years since we last gathered for a conference in the northern part of our district. It's been the last couple of in-person ones were at Deerhurst. We were at Collingwood before that, the Marriott before that in Muskoka. So any of you who have been to a district conference, if you've been to one that's in the north, it's always been a lot of fun. I remember a few years ago going to Val-d'Or, and many years ago going to Rouyn-Noranda, and they've always been a terrific time. We've got a great lineup of speakers for the plenary sessions. Some of the speakers we've arranged with on Saturday, sort of our keynote speaker is somebody called Roseanne Archibald. And Roseanne is a First Nations chief. She's been a leader in groundbreaking for both women and youth in the Indigenous communities. And last month, Roseanne was elected as the first female national chief of the Assembly of First Nations. So that is that the National Assembly of First Nations represents all First Nation citizens in Canada, which includes more than 900,000 people living in 634 First Nation communities. So she was elected as the head of that, and sort of very prestigious position, and also the first female to ever be in that position. And I'd like to say that when I first talked to Roseanne a little over a year ago, that I knew that this was going to happen, and that wouldn't be the truth. In fact, we didn't even know at that point that she was going to be running for this position. And thankfully, when we just talked to her recently, I was a bit concerned that she'd be now too busy to speak to us in Timmins, but she has agreed to live up to her commitment, and so she's coming to Timmins. We also have a past Rotary International Director, Carolyn Jones, who was the first female trustee of the Rotary Foundation. We've got two younger women, Tammy Edgar from Laurentian University and Julie Moselak from Science North, both of them from Sudbury, who are alumni of a Homeward Bound leadership program that takes place in Antarctica. So it's a program that engages professional women from around the world and aims to heighten the influence and impact that women have in making decisions that shape our planet. I thought personally that women made all the decisions that shaped our planet anyhow, but we're going to hear how they learned how to do it from their perspective. Also, there's lots of social activities on Saturday. You can go on a mining tour. You can go on an ATV tour of Timmins. We have a pontoon boat tour in the Matahagaby River. You can go target shooting at the shooting range, or you can do crafts. And we've got lots of local dining experiences on Friday night. So hope to see you all and see some of you in Timmins. As Jody indicated, we have made arranged for bus transportation. I really hope we can start the bus in Barrie, but if you are interested in the bus, we're really trying to finalize some of those arrangements, and we'd like to know that reasonably soon. So I hope this gives you a bit of a summary and appreciation of what your district is all about and the resources that are available to your club. And I hope you have a better understanding of some of the priorities and the direction of both Rotary International and our district in 21-22. And I'd like to end by thanking all of you for allowing me to share this with you. And I'd like to also thank you as Rotarians for everything that you do in the community and helping to serve to change lives. So thank you very much.
Anybody have any questions they'd like to ask District Governor Steve?
All right. Okay, thank you.
So with that, I'd like to ask Rotaract President Nicole Graham to come forward, please.
Righty. Hi, everybody. Thank you so much for coming out today. And I wanted to say thank you as well to District Governor Steve for making his way down to Barrie and visiting all of the clubs this week. It was really great to meet him. I look forward to our district tour when the time comes. And we really are looking forward to being able to support the district in their goal for supporting water first and bringing clean drinking water to Ontario land, and as well as your Great Ideas Committee. Hopefully we can all contribute and as well benefit from that resource. I think that'll be really, really wonderful. So on behalf of Rotaract and Rotary, thank you so much for coming out. We appreciate it.
Thank you for that, Nicole. And Steve, thank you for coming here today to share information about district and what's going on with district. And certainly as we've been disconnected in these last 18 months, it's great to hear what's going on and the opportunities. As we said, Rotary keeps going and we adapt and we pivot. So some very important information was shared, and it's been a little while since we've had a district governor speak with with everything. So we really appreciated you making the time to come down here today. So thank you for that. Before I finish off, and I want to forget, I just want to wish Jimmy, I want to wish you luck with your daughter's wedding this weekend. The weather's going to be good. The weather's going to be good. And to our Zoomers, thank you for being here with us today. Hopefully you can join us here next week. To everybody that's here, thank you. Great to see your smiling faces. So for the final thought of this week's meeting, I figured I would just keep it light. When I was Sergeant at Arms, I tried to throw a few of these out from time to time. Sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. Quoting comedians is not necessarily an easy play, but we'll give it a shot. So some of you may be familiar with a comedian by the name of Stephen Wright, very sarcastic and dry humor. So these are just some neat quotes that I found in my binder from almost 20 years ago. Last night I stayed up playing poker with tarot cards. I got a full house and 4 people died. I used to work at a fire hydrant factory. You couldn't park anywhere near the place. I had a friend who was a clown. When he died, all his friends went to the funeral in one car. And literally right now, I'm having amnesia and deja vu at the same time. I think I've forgotten this before. With nothing further, for the good of Rotary, I declare this week's meeting adjourned. Thank you.